This conference will now be recorded.
I don't know, Alicia, I don't know if you can tell who the callers are. Jason Winter has pinned a caller 4. Thank you, Jason. There you go. Dr. Dan Chuck. Hello. We're listening to somebody's conversation. I don't know if you want that. I've muted everybody for now. And then, okay. Okay, 302. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Nice. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's 3:03, and welcome to Monday. And thank you for coming here to help us figure out how we're going to do all this work. I really appreciate it. So I guess I think a nice way to begin would be just to let everybody know who's here on the call and who you're with. So why don't I ask, I see Kathy Lurch, she's our council staff director of administration. Alicia Lopez is here as well, also a key person on council staff and the Twin Cities coordinator for us, among other duties as assigned. And of course, I'm the executive director for now. And so why don't we just go real quick and please feel free to introduce yourself and say who you're with. Okay, so I'm going to go to Curtis. Hello, Curtis, welcome. I know go to webinar might seem like a dinosaur program, but you have to unmute yourself to talk. So, can you hear us, Curtis? All right, well, we're gonna let Curtis sort it out. I see his little phone microphone is off. Karen Kislewiski. I've known you for a million years. I still have problems with that name. Sorry about that, Karen.
No problem. I'm Karen Kieslewski, a principal with Cambridge Systematics.
Thank you, Karen. How about Robert Hewler?
Hi, I'm Robert Hiller. I'm with Moffitt and Nickel.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, Robert.
Thank you.
Welcome. How about Amy Eason?
Hi, I'm Amy Eason. I'm with AECOM.
Great. Hey, Amy. It's nice
Hi.
to see you. Dana Bauer.
Hi, this is Dana Bauer. I'm with Marstel Day.
Oh, okay. Could you spell that? Which one? Dana Bauer. I'm sorry, that sound was bad for me. Dana?
Okay, with Marstel Day.
Oh.
MASTEL-DAY.
Wonderful, of course. Sorry, my hearing's not so good. Mr. Obi, I think you don't need any introduction, but go ahead. You're on mute, Obi.
Jayant Obedsekar, Florida International University.
Thank you, Obi. Welcome. Kathy Forster.
Hi, I'm with ATM, a geofintech company.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. Jason Winter, or what? I don't, how do you pronounce your name, Jason?
Yeah, Jason Winter with Marcel Dice.
Okay, great. Thank you. Claire? And thank you, Claire, for letting us see your face.
Hi, I'm Claire with Deltaris USA.
Okay, Guitars USA. Super. Sam? Dr. Sam?
Oh, come on. Good afternoon, everyone. Great to see your faces. Samantha Danchuk from Aptum.
Lynette. Hello, Lynette. You're on mute, Lynette. Pardo. Well, I think she's going to be on mute for a little while. Karen? Walter?
Hey, Isabel. This is Karen
Okay.
Bolter, and I don't know if you know the news, but I'm with Deltaris USA as well now.
Okay.
Fresh from last week. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Leo Broslowski Soli is our finance director, so he's here. Erica Harris.
Hi, this is Erica Harris with AECOM.
Oh, great. Harris. So glad all the smart people showed up. That's all I can say. All right, Chris at Evanek or Evanek. Chris, can you hear me? Evanek? Evanek, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Okay, Steve Hauser.
Hi, this is Steve Hauser with Stantec.
Oh, welcome, Steve.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Susie Toriente. Susita.
Hi there, Isabel. Susie Toriente from Jacobs.
Yes. Hi. Julie Binaco.
Hello, Julie Binaco with AECOM.
Laura Hammett.
Hi, this is Laura Hammett with ICF.
Okay, great. Christina, you introduce yourself? Christina Miskus. There you go. Hey, we can't hear you, Christina. So Christina Miskus is our senior planner. She's been with the council for a long time. We've had the benefit of her work here, and she's the project manager. All right, and then we have caller number 1, who I have no idea who caller number 1 is. So does caller number 1 know you're number 1? And if so, can you tell us your name? Caller number 1's on mute. Let's see, unmute. Well, okay, caller number 1's on mute. Caller number 3. Okay, caller number 3, do you want to introduce yourself or no? I guess not. I see a Mr. Holt Bradshaw has just arrived. Welcome, and would you please introduce yourself? Okay. Well, welcome everyone, and we're delighted that you're here. I'm looking forward to the best and brightest giving us ideas on how we're going to do our scope of work on this resiliency project. For me, I think this is one of the most important projects we're doing at the council. I think it's a patriotic project, and I am delighted that y'all are interested in seeing how you can assist us. I think that's great. So I imagine that y'all have had an opportunity to look at the RFP. I don't know if you want me to go over it or if you just want to ask whatever questions you may have. Open to all suggestions, and let me know what you think. So, Alicia, you want to take over meeting logistics since you're so good at this?
Sure.
Sure, why not? What I was going to say, if anyone has any questions or if you have any comments, please feel free to put it in the chat. You can either send it to me directly or you can send it to the group, and then I'll acknowledge over let Isabel know, and then we can move forward from there. If you are not speaking, please make sure that you are self-muted. If not, either myself or Isabel will mute you in case if there is feedback. Like I said, just please make sure to utilize the chat in case if you did have any questions or are muted and you can unmute yourself. And then please feel free to let me know if you're having any technical difficulties, and then I will help you from there.
Thanks. So I guess maybe just a real quick background. We became involved in this effort back in January of this year when the South Florida Defense Alliance came to the council and presented information about challenges facing our military installations and also the economic value of the council of the different installations and economic development and different things that were going on in the state. And at that time, they requested that the council consider preparing an application to secure resources from the Department of Defense to undertake a regional military installation resilience review, which is a little different, not entirely. There are places in the country where there are regional multi-facility reviews going on. One that comes to mind, and I'm sure you guys know of others, the one that I'm familiar with is the Washington Council of Governments area where they have multiple installations there. So we spent a lot of time putting together the application, which I included the whole application. I am not a resiliency expert like all of you, but we did the best we could and DoD approved it. In this military installation resilience review, we're going to be looking at 4 facilities. We're going to be looking at HARB in Miami-Dade County, which everybody's, I'm sure, familiar with. We're going to be looking at United States Army Garrison in Doral, which is SOUTHCOM. And we're going to be looking at the U.S. Naval Surface War Center measurement facility in Broward, which I'm sure Sam is familiar with, since she's from Broward. And lastly, we're going to be looking at United States Naval Air Station Key West in Monroe County. So what we have available for contracts, as I mentioned, are we broke this up into 2 RFPs, but there's nothing, as you saw in the thing, that precludes you from applying for both, and you're not penalized if you don't apply for both. We're looking for a very specific set of experience, particularly in the liaison portion of the contract, and that's the smaller contract that we've set aside up to $180,000 for. Okay, and that was all detailed in the RFP. And again, why don't I just say this again? It is the intention to create a level playing field for everyone. We're not trying to put our thumb on the scale or do anything like that. So if you only apply for one part of the bigger part of the contract, that's fine. And so you can apply for one, the other, or both. And of course, it's expected that however that sorts out, that everybody will work together and coordinate. I will also mention that the council has some resources here, not a lot, but some, so that I think about $150,000 of staff time. So we will also be able to coordinate with, we plan to coordinate with the consultant team and also lend support. So, and we'll have to work out the details of that. So I think with that, it's a quick turnaround. We were delayed in getting this done, even though we had been working on it for a while. We got the contract towards the middle of September. They started the contract date, though, September 1st. It was identified as an 18-month project. I have already had a conversation with my DoD contact, and he understands that there have been some delays, and so he is open to discussing changing the end part. So I still think we need a plan for an 18-month project, and then we will work with DoD to accommodate things. And you guys, again, are professionals and are much better at this, so it may seem to you that you have plenty of time as it is. But right now, the way the contract is, it's supposed to start September 1st, and then on the last day of February 2023. Okay, well, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. And when I'm looking at the schedule, if you saw on page 3. Well, that was the summary part. But if you go to the RFP, let me see where I have it here. Yeah, I'm sorry, just looking for the scheduled dates. What I wanted to say about the scheduled dates, we are on a short timeline, but as I was looking at the dates, I would be willing to set up another outside of the cone of silence conversation later in this project. So as you get into it, if you have additional questions, there's still an opportunity to have that. And of course, any questions that you send to us through the South Florida admin at sfrpc.com email, what we will do is we'll take the questions and we will just publish them for everybody to see them and answer them so that everybody has the same information, because we want to make sure that everybody has all the information they need. Okay, I don't know, Lynette, are you able to introduce yourself now? I don't know if Lynette's come back. Let's see. I'm gonna tell you. Lynette. Super. All right, so with that, I'd like to just go ahead and open it up. Anybody that might have questions or comments or, oh, one of the things that I wanted to mention also. Okay, I see it from chat, yes. I'll get to you, Susie. Thank you for that. Please feel free to add things in the chat. There was something I was gonna say before I saw the chat, but now I'm gonna go to the chat. Yes, so the idea behind the military installation resilience review is that what we're looking for are issues outside. This is the question, I'm sorry, from Susie. Confirming that issues and solutions are entirely outside of the installation perimeters. Yes, our understanding is that that is what this program is designed to do. It's supposed to assess things that are going outside of the gate that impact the resiliency of the installation and its operations. So things that come to mind and are on the website for you to do, which I can get for you, are things like communications, water sewer infrastructure, roads, those types of things. And one of the things that I mentioned again in this thing, because we're very blessed as a region to come from a place where the Southeast Florida Regional Climate Change Compact has been working for many years. There is a body of work that exists already, and there's ongoing things that are going on. For example, in Monroe County, they're working on roads and elevating roads. So the idea is not to recreate work that's been done, but to integrate the work. And another component part of this is that we're going to be looking also at how the bases themselves, by virtue of their collaboration and coordination, also can improve that between bases. I wish Rick Miller were here. I don't know if he's here. But there's a conversation about how the different bases work together, and by improving that relationship, they can also help each other be more resilient through communications, which seems reasonable to me. Do you have a study area boundary then? It's and Christina, feel free to jump in if you like. The study area boundary are the military bases and the communities adjacent to them. So we have maps that were in the original full application of the bases. So I would, in Monroe County, it's Naval Air Station Key West. So it would be City of Key West and Monroe County. And Homestead, we have the City of Homestead, for example. So we can, that's good. We'll take down these questions and answer them also online, so provide additional information. You're welcome. Okay. Did y'all find anything in the RFP that was confusing or that we can clarify for you?
I was going to say, if anyone would like to unmute themselves, since, you know, we only have a few people on, you could unmute yourself if you'd like to answer this call directly, just in case if you don't want to type in the chat. please feel
Yeah,
free.
yeah, yeah. Just sometimes you just get feedback. That's all. But you guys are all welcome to jump in.
Isabel, would you want to speak to whether this is kind of like a turnkey project, or if the South Florida Regional Planning Council has interest in kind of aligning it with their priorities so that, ongoing planning and policy conversations continue with the military bases, or is it?
I'm not sure I understand the question, honestly. It's a standalone project. What we're hoping to do is identify those investments that are needed to make the investments outside of the fence that are needed to help ensure and enhance the resiliency of the installation and the commands. One of the benefits of this process, is my understanding, is once you identify those infrastructure, let's say resources that are needed, those investments that are needed outside of the fence to enhance resiliency, what it does, which is a marvelous thing, is that it makes those investments eligible for funding from the Department of Defense.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it might be a road thing or water infrastructure thing, I'm just throwing it out. Even though it may not be something that would typically be considered a Department of Defense investment, identifying the issue makes it eligible for DoD funding. So that's why it's a sort of like a supplemental funding source to do that one thing more, or 5 things more that you need to do to enhance the resiliency of the base.
And do you think the Planning Council would play a role with those future grants, or?
Yes, I think now one of the things, so our grant manager at DoD is a very nice gentleman named William Houghton, and what he said is, and you've heard this all before because we're all planners. It's not just a plan to plan. They would like to see like the beginning of the implementation strategy, investment strategies, and then there's opportunity for additional funding and additional work to do implementation and to build that up. And if I could, I could always set up a time for y'all to have a conversation with William Houghton if you want to. So yes, there's an opportunity. Okay.
Isabel, it's Karen.
It's Karen.
Just a quick question. I know because they're set up as two, the liaison portion of it definitely leads a lot of the project manager requirements that are in there. But if you were not submitting for that liaison one, does the project manager still need that level of commitment to regarding military?
I mean, if you're only applying for the 595 pot? Well, I think that anybody who's responding to this RFP probably has some experience with that, but you're not expected to carry the heavy load that I'm going to be, I'm looking for that person to know people here to, help do all the coordination with the bases, to do coordination with the state task force, to set up meetings, set up site tours, that sort of thing. That's what they're expected to do. But I think it helps. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming that anybody who's applying for this has at least some familiarity with this type of planning and is probably sophisticated enough to be familiar a little with these bases and operations. But no, the heavy lifting is on that second contract, and that consultant team or whoever it is supposed to bring that to the other team they're working with. And then it has to all be integrated. Yes, we're all on the same team. It'll all be the same team, and that's a big part of this. You're welcome.
I think I can be heard now too, so I'm available to answer questions as well.
All right.
Sorry about that earlier.
Anything else?
Isabel, it's Susie. I'm just wondering on that the integration, right, and the teamwork. How will we have access to like the installations? In terms of being able to go in, talk to staff. Has that been worked out, or will that be figured out through the process?
Well, that's the skill set that component part of the grant program is supposed to bring. the MIRR2, they are supposed to be the connectors to the military. Okay, and that's that MIRR2. So, and also I do have already some contacts at all of the facilities, because again, this wasn't closed in a vacuum. So I do have contacts at all of those facilities, people, and we have letters that support that were from HARB and from Southcom. Statement of support also from Naval Surface Station in Broward, offering contact people. And we also have a community liaison station in Key West. Sorry, I'm tired. Naval Air Station in Key West, Hamilton Porco, who is also a designated liaison by Captain Sam. So I will be relying on them for their coordinating assistance and being helpful and providing information, helping to also be a bridge to coordinate meetings. You know, some of the documents and things like that, you know, whatever is a security clearance document we can get. So I will be looking for them to help, because they're supposed to be the beneficiaries of this process.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Anybody? I don't know if it's just like I did such a terrible job with RFP or such a great job with RFP. It just doesn't seem to be any questions. And like I said, I'll set up another opportunity so that if you think of more questions, you can talk to them. So, okay. I will say that these, another aspect about this contract. So I will say that this contract is not dissimilar to other RFPs around the country for this type of work. Ours is a little different in that it also has the added coordination among multiple facilities, as opposed to being a single site. Another project that's going on is going to be you may have seen and responded to it already. The RFP already closed, was for the Tampa Bay Regional Planning Council, and they're looking at MacDill Air Force Base. So, and what we're trying to do also, one of the conversations that we had with the Department of Defense, so you have 10 regional planning councils in the state. They cover all areas of the state. So there is a benefit to having some level of coordination between the councils. And again, this is probably some place that the councils would take a lead role on. And trying to create a framework that we can sort of create a unified state picture at some point of these issues for DoD. It's a want to have, nice to have. It's not a have to have. But that's sort of the aspirational goal, is to create a common framework or something that allows you to get a full picture of these issues. So Tampa Bay already has a contract with DoD. Emerald Coast, which is the Panhandle, has also been in conversations with DoD. And you know, I expect that in other parts of the state, like North Florida, which is that Jacksonville, Duval County area, there will also be, over time, there will probably be some interest there. So we're really like we're a pilot program. We're starting out. Oh, hey, there's a comment from Steve. You might consider another call when questions are due. Most of the questions will be generated as we dig into the RFP. Absolutely. Thank you, Steve. We'll do that. Happy. We want to be accessible and we want to make this pleasant for everybody. Not a nightmare. Okay. Okay. So back left. Is there anything else that might be helpful to y'all? I guess not. Okay, well, I will look at the schedule. And I'm just curious, how many of y'all found this through our website or versus the Demand Star? Did most of y'all get it through Demand Star?
I got it through something like that. Yep.
I'm just wondering if that's a real good communication venue there. Okay. Good. Good. Well, again, anything that y'all have or any comments that you have on the RFP, if there's something that doesn't seem right or should have been different, I'm open to input, on the website now, because the Cone of Silence is going to come back again. And but again, I just really want this to be a good process and to be a clear process, and to thank you all for your interest and tell you how much we appreciate your assistance thinking through all these issues. So. Okay. Thank you, Steve. Okay. Well, I guess unless y'all have something else, just let us know. Send us through the email and we'll keep in contact there. Thank you, Claire. And anyway, it's very nice to see you all. Thanks, Sam. I'm glad you're doing so well.
Hey, thanks.
It's nice to have a job to work with your friends. All right. Thank you very much. I'll take care.
Bye.